All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. And this, of course, has got to do with this yet another face-off that's been reported at the India-China border. And this time, the Indian and the Chinese troops have clashed in the Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh in northeast India. In the latest that has come in, New Delhi has now said that the Indian army managed to repulse an attempt by the PLA troops to unilaterally change the status quo by transgressing the line of actual control. Speaking in the parliament, the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that no Indian soldier had lost his life in the action and that there were no major injuries. The minister has further stressed on how the Indian army is ready to meet with any challenge that the PLA and China throws at India at the border. Listen to what he had to say.
December 2022 को PLA ट्रुप्स ने तवांग सेक्टर के यांगसे एरिया में लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल पर अतिक्रमण कर स्टेटस को एक तरफा बदलने का प्रयास किया। चाइना के इस प्रयास का हमारी सेना ने दृढ़ता के साथ सामना किया है अध्यक्ष महोदय, और इस फेस ऑफ में हाथापाई भी हुई है। भारतीय सेना ने बहादुरी से PLA को हमारी टेरिटरी में अतिक्रमण करने से रोका और उन्हें उनकी पोस्ट पर वापस जाने के लिए मजबूर कर दिया अध्यक्ष महोदय। इस झड़प में दोनों ओर के कुछ सैनिकों को चोटें भी आई हैं और मैं इस सदन को अवगत कराना चाहता हूं कि हमारे किसी भी सैनिक की न तो मृत्यु हुई है और न ही कोई गंभीर रूप से घायल हुआ है।
However, China has a completely different take on the latest skirmish. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin has issued this interesting statement in which he has tried to state that the India-China border situation is actually stable overall. On the 9th of December, that is about 4 days ago, the PLA troops crossed the line of actual control in the Tawang sector. The Indian troops, of course, responded in a very firm and resolute manner. The face-off led to some minor injuries to some military personnel on both sides. And the soldiers on the two sides immediately, of course, disengaged from the area. And according to reports, at least about 3 Indian Army units and 600 Chinese soldiers, in fact, were present at the time of the clash. So it is not a small skirmish that's been reported. The incident has also taken place after India and the United States, remember, had held joint military drills called Yudh Abhyas. The 18th edition of Yudh Abhyas was held in the Indian state of Uttarakhand, bordering China. To be precise, the joint drills, in fact, took place about 100 kilometers from its border with China. Now, Beijing had then called the recent operation as a violation of the two border agreements that had been signed between China and India back in the years 1993 and then again in 1996. Now, according to Chinese, drones had in fact earlier moved very aggressively towards the Indian position on the line of actual control. And also our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibil has been tracking the story very closely for us and has sent us this report. Listen in.
Concerns remain as India and China face off at the border in Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. We know since the story first broke, there have been political developments with the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addressing the Indian Parliament and assuring that the Indian side is prepared for any eventuality. He talked about how on 9th the Chinese side tried to change the status quo in that area unilaterally, and this is something that we have heard multiple times, the Chinese side doing similar things in eastern Ladakh. But this is the worst face-off since the Galwan incident of 2020, in which India lost a number of its soldiers. The Chinese also suffered casualties. But this time, of course, the Indian Defence Minister has assured the Indian Parliament that there is no casualty on the Indian side. But if we talk about the relationship, this development is something that will be a development that will have ramifications on the relationship. The relationship has been going southward since the Galwan incident, and India, of course, taking action on the Chinese apps, banning them, and of course increasing scrutiny on Chinese investments. And as the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said that whatever happens at the border is going to have its implications on the relationship, and this development that has come on 9th of this month is going to impact the relationship. We know that India has also raised the matter with the Chinese government diplomatically, and there has been a muted response by Beijing, which said that the situation at the border is stable. With video journalist Chandrasekhar Sudhansibal for WION in New Delhi.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.